Fed up with your boring humdrum existence? Here are the 6 things you need to know in order to get some excitement back in your life. So just lately, my general feeling has been that of excitement. I felt quite ecstatic nearly all the time. And this one here has been teaching me about the 6 givens. It's basically some human emotional needs, 4 of which we must meet and we will meet one way or another, be it in a positive or a negative way. And we need to look at our life and see, you know, how we're going about that, and see if we're doing, you know, if we've got healthy emotional sitch going on. And 2 of which are more kind of almost spiritual needs, and they're kind of the icing on the cake. Without those 2, you won't feel fulfilled in your life. So I'm just trying to make this all cemented in my head, so it's good for me to talk about this on camera. I've got Gemma here to help me out if I get stuck. But yeah, we'll go through them one by one and we'll see how can we meet them. I'll tell you how I'm meeting them, and I'm 100 times happier than I've ever been at any other point in my life, really. So I want you guys to feel the same way. So the 6 needs: certainty, spontaneity, significance, love/connection, growth, expansion, a couple of ways of sort of saying that, and don't tell me. And I think most importantly, contribution. So let's go through them. So first is certainty. So we need to know that we're going to have a roof over our head, that we've got food, that we're not in danger. So
it's basically like to know we're going to seek pleasure and avoid pain, isn't it?
Yeah, just that. So you can look at that in terms of relationships. So you're confident that your spouse is not like going to leave you anytime soon, that when you go to work, like, you know, your job is safe. So number 1, you kind of need certainty, but then you need spontaneity, because if everything's certain and you know what's going on, like, it could get boring. So you need to have a bit of excitement going on in your life. So this we're talking about, you'll meet them in positive or negative ways. So you're working really hard, so you've got certainty, but no, you're not taking time out to go and do something exciting, which is really, like, I've been guilty of this lately, and I've had to, my business has got so busy, I've had to pare it back a little bit, make time for like other stuff. So some people might, you know, they might be so focused on their business and everything's going great and they're really excited by that. No, they've not got time to do other stuff. Then maybe they turn to drink or drugs, you know. They'll
variety,
yeah, they'll find that variety, but, you know, they're in a negative way, so watch out for that one. Significance, like, we all need to feel important. It could be in terms of like fame, or it can just be that you're like significant to your partner. Or I've heard, like, say in the hood, you know, like a dangerous sort of, you know, deprived area, if someone's lacking significance, maybe they put a gun to your head. Now they're pretty damn significant to you, aren't they? So that's something that we can look at. And obviously love and connection, like, we all want to feel close. You know, we are herd animals, we're sort of tribal, you know, we need to be in a, I think society's really gone bad lately, and people feel really isolated.
And they'll say, like, some people love is scary, so they'll just settle for connection instead of love. A lot of people do that, I think. So a lot of people choose to not be with a partner for many years. They'll accept some connection with some friends and not seek out the love, but we always meet that need.
And so then the 2 real sort of sexy ones, expansion. So if you're really into the spiritualism thing, you'll feel that we are a spirit having a human experience, and we're actually here just for expansion, in fact, because we need the contrast to, like, learn and grow. And it can be just, you know, it can be just the fact, if, like me, I'm going to the gym, I'm training my body, I'm getting bigger or leaner, like, that's growth. In terms of my business, I'm kind of learning skills, like, I'm trying to learn a bit more life skills now. I think I can reach people in terms of like a life coach. Like, you know, a couple of my clients, like, it's useful for me to be that way, to help them along the path. So you can be reading books, you can be watching videos.
Reading books is one of the easiest ways that we can learn, grow, expansion.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
You can do, because I'm doing a nutritionist course at the minute. It gets boring, it gets stale if we're not learning, if we're not expanding, if we're not growing. Yeah. So I'd really invite you, if you're not doing that, like, you know, YouTube is a great place to start. You can learn so much just from YouTube. And then the main thing I think people struggle with, and I think like all these things put together, I think that it leads to a sense of life purpose. And if you haven't got that, you're going to be bloody miserable in my view. And so the biggest thing I think is contribution. We feel so good when we do things for others. A lot of people miss this. But you know, for me, so using me as an example with the vegan message, I'm saving lives, human lives, because they're not going to get heart disease now, like a couple of decades down the road or whatever. Saving animals' lives, you know, they're all queued up waiting to be killed. Like, imagine how horrific that is. So starting to slow that process down and hopefully start to reverse it soon, and as we get more and more vegans in the world. Saving the planet, you know, because animal agriculture is the #1 reason for nearly all the environmental ills, or possibly all the environmental ills in the world. And lastly, like and this has happened for me, I truly believe that if we really get the vegan message and we don't want to cause harm to another, you know, to an animal, humans, like it or not, humans are an animal. We're mammals, we're primates. If I'm not gonna buy this neatly little packaged chicken's breast because I don't want to harm a chicken I've never met, well, I'm hardly going to go and shoot someone, you know, in a war, or drop a bomb on like a person. Like, I can't cause harm to people now. Like, you know, if it was self-defense, if I'm under attack and it's sort of kill or be killed, yeah, like, I'm going to win. I'm going to do everything in my power to survive. But if I can help it, you know, I'm never going to lay a hand on another human being. So I think a lot of people lack purpose and they're bloody miserable. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. They stay at a job they hate because it gives them certainty that they're going to get a paycheck. It's too risky to like follow their dreams. Yes. That's a big thing that people struggle with. Yeah. But then eventually the lack of variety gets them, they get depressed, so then they take drugs, or they go out drinking at the weekends, or we will meet these needs in healthy or unhealthy ways. We'll find a way. I invite you to look at how you're meeting those needs.
So there's books and videos and things on this. Anthony Robbins, is it, or Tony Robbins?
He's one of the people who's talked about it, but it's...
How does he go? Anthony Robbins, normally?
Both, depends what video.
Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins. But there's a book, Human Givens.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's a thing you can do called the Emotional 6 Needs Audit. It's basically about just emotional sort of well-being. But yeah, just type that into Google, emotional needs. Human given, you'll come up with loads of stuff if you want to really look into it. But if you're struggling with purpose, you know, veganism for me, saving the humans, saving the animals, saving the planet, saving humans from each other, you know, what greater purpose is there? And like I say, like, I'm just ecstatically happy all the time. Everything's just going swimmingly well.
You're meeting all of your needs through that.
Yeah. So they say, like, in a relationship, how does it go if you meet a couple of needs, you've got a friend? Yeah,
if you meet 3 needs via a person or a action, or you're doing something, then you can become addicted to that. So like, say drugs like meets like 3 of your needs, so that's why you'll become addicted to the drugs. It's not really the drugs, it's the needs that it meets. And if you have a partner and they meet at least like, if they meet 4 or 5 of your needs, you've got a love slave. They're gonna be like totally into you. Why would they look at or go anywhere else? Because you're meeting their needs, you know. Look at how you can meet your partner's needs.
Comment below. So how are you reaching certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, contribution, and expansion, growth? How are you meeting those 6 things? Comment below, I'm really interested. But for me, just being a PT, seeing people thrive mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, it's a beautiful. I used to be a doorman. I used to make my living by hurting people. No wonder I was never really truly happy, and I was always seeking. Like, I didn't know what I was looking for, but I was on the total wrong end of the spectrum as to my life purpose. You know your life purpose when it just flows, you're excited.
Synchronicities happen.
Synchronicities happen, and you are just meeting those 6 needs, and it's huge. Let me know how you're doing it.
Yes.
If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.
Go vegan for victory.
Yeah!